Yeah, so I Story CEO, Scribe Story Studios. It's a company that I've run for the past 12 years and started off just as Scribe, so I've been in the middle of a rebrand. Historically, we've helped clients do that and figuring out how to articulate their story and the core messages and the strategy behind it. And it's not only the story of their company or brand or product for that matter, but what is the story they're telling themselves. So a lot of it's
Mm,
combining storytelling and coaching and consulting. It's like this hybrid approach and pulling that out of people because I believe you have the answers. They're already in you. It's my
yeah.
job is to just guide you to, like a Sherpa, get it out, get the right story out for the audience you're trying to attract.
So I help largely, well, it's all small businesses, largely female-owned businesses, really find their story, own it, and scream it to the world. So I believe that your story is really the foundation of your entire brand. And once you have that nailed down, it makes everything so much easier. You know, the content you write and put out into the world, website copy, your visuals. So I really help people find that story and then translate it into their brand.
My name is Maggie. I'm the owner of Be Understood Branding. I am a brand strategist on a mission to kick brand vagueness or vagueness in general in the dick. I work mostly with service-based businesses because I find service-based businesses have a lot of heart and a lot of uniqueness and have the most trouble expressing that.
What does it mean to even say you're an expert? It's such an interesting
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
And I think there might be a fine line between owning, yeah, I'm an expert, but also being an expert means I know enough to know I'll never know everything, and there's always something to learn. So I think of it as a path of curiosity, maintaining curiosity and having a strong opinion, but also knowing I could be wrong. The kind of balancing it's like that there's magic in the juxtaposition of that, of having the confidence to say, I don't know, I think this will work. Maybe it won't, but let's stay curious about it and make adjustments as we go.
I would describe it as more of a journey. I hate to be
Good.
cliche that like
No.
life is a journey, it's not the destination, but
Right.
really, it's so true though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, if you had asked me 20 years ago, I wouldn't have said I'd be doing what I did now. But I think what everything I've always done has always had telling stories and I really love just helping the individual and the person. So I started out more in television and media, kind of a story producer, coming up with characters and stories and help in all documentary news oriented journalism sense. So helping pull out that story, share it with the world, develop that empathy and connection to, you know, create impact. And yeah, over the years, and as I grow older, and I was a small business owner myself and had young kids myself, I think our values and our priorities shift, and really passionate about helping women business owners. We typically are pretty modest, you know,
Mhm.
as women are nature, and it's amazing and wonderful. But I think we also need help pulling that story out and you know really understanding how to share it with the world.
So tell us, what is your die in a ditch belief? So for the audience, I always like to ask my interviewees this question. It's one of my favorite questions to ask. A die in a ditch belief is something you've thought about long and hard. It's something you'd be willing to defend if you were pressed. It might be a little controversial, but it draws a line in the sand for you. So I'd love to hear, Maggie,
Uh,
what's your die in a ditch belief?
I was born a communicator, and I believe that we as humans developed language for a reason, and that reason is to communicate. So clear communication, like every single other thing that makes us human, is a skill that you can pay attention to and learn and seek guidance on, or you can just take the baseline you were given with. So I want to be understood. So my die in a ditch belief is that there is value in making an effort to be understood.
So tell us about your die in a ditch belief.
I believe that the stories we tell ourselves and each other literally shape how we see the world and what we believe is possible and how people feel around us and what they think is possible. But ultimately, I think kindness is the most important currency in being a human. And, you know, having empathy, willing to, I just saw Michelle Obama last night too. It's like, yes, you are speaking my language.
Yeah.
Being able to recognize, it's like, how many people are there on the planet now? 7 billion something. And one of us, we have this tiny, tiny lens. That's just people living today, this tiny perspective on life. And if we're open, if we're kind with ourselves and with each other, we realize we just have so much more to learn from each other and to help nurture and support each other as we go through life, which can be hard as fuck.
I think the biggest thing for me progressing through my career has just been accountability, masterminds, having that just core group of colleagues who you can bounce ideas off of. I think when you're working as an entrepreneur or soulpreneur, it's really hard. You want that feedback. You want that outside, kind of like what we were just talking about. You want that outside perspective. And that's what I've found so invaluable is, also having the accountability group or mastermind group, just being like, stop being a perfectionist. Don't, stop, I'm on your hand, you're on your hamster wheel trying to make it perfect. Just do it. Just put it out there. And I think to own your expertise, I think that's really like the crux of it. You just need to put yourself out there.
There are, as I'm sure is the case with the work that you do, there are certain tools. So if we were gardeners, we would have a set of tools that we could use. Would those tools guarantee a beautiful garden? No. But if we understood how to use them, if we understood a few things about the rules around what the eye is drawn to, so there's rules and then there's tools. The human brain, most human brains operate in much of this the same way. So that combined with specific questions that I've developed are how I attempt to help people be understood. So I'm going to explain to you how the human brain works. I'm going to give you a sequence of exercises, and in the end, you will have something beautiful. That's yours. That's you.
Just put yourself out there, like plain and simple. I think we're all, imposter syndrome. We, at least, I'm a little more type A perfectionist, but trying to perfect things before you put it out into the world, or learn one more, take one more online course and learn one more thing before you put it out there. And I really think that just held me back, honestly.
Have fun, and it's okay. It's gonna be okay. You're okay. Do what you love, and instead of worrying about what other people think and being self-conscious, it's like, you got this one life as far as we know, so go enjoy it.